up, guys? It is Caitlin, and this week I am doing a kind of explanation slash story time kind of video explaining all my surgeries and all kinds of stuff like that. So if you guys are interested in listening, keep on watching.
It's all the same, like some things never change. I couldn't stop and say no. It's all the same, but you won't take the blame, even when you are blowing up. Oh my, you're my broken love. Nobody's gonna.
I'm not making this video by any means for anyone to feel bad for me or whatever. I just want you guys to know a little bit more about me. Because I know on my Instagram photos I've posted pictures and you could probably see the scar on my stomach, and some people maybe will be wondering why. So I just want to explain why. So I'm just making this video because I thought it would be kind of interesting to know. Okay, so when I was little I had surgery. I'm not exactly sure why I did when I was little, but like as soon as I was born I had surgery. I think it was like my intestines or something was like mixed up or whatever, I don't know. But I got surgery from that. So then I was in first or second grade, and I remember this very clearly. It was very traumatizing. So I was sitting on the mat because our teacher was teaching us, and we were sitting like on the floor on the carpet, and I remember having wicked bad pains in my stomach, like so bad, like I couldn't even stand it. So I stood up as she was teaching to ask to go to the nurse. So I did so. I got all the way down to the nurse and I sat down and almost passed out, like right as I got there. I got there just in time. So the nurse was like, oh my gosh, like I know how many health like things that you have, so I'm gonna send you home. So I went home. Like we just thought that I was like sick or whatever, like regular like flu or whatever. So I was laying on the couch, and I remember this so clearly too. I think my mom was outside like getting wood or something for the wood stove. I don't remember, but I remember it started to hurt so bad I could not stand it. So I got up, I crawled to the back door to yell to my mom to tell her that like I cannot stand this anymore, like I just cannot. So we drove to the hospital. They were like, yeah, we need to send you to Boston Children's Hospital right now. So like they strapped me in for the ambulance. We went into the ambulance and they took me from somewhere to Boston Children's Hospital. When we got there, they tried to go into the hospital, but the ambulance drivers could not get into the building, and I'm not making this up. They did not know the password. They were banging on the door, like I mean like full on banging on the door, the windows. No one was paying attention, no one. So they kept doing this for a really long time. We were out there for a really long time as I'm like sitting there dying, because not really, I'm over exaggerating. As I'm sitting there like in so much pain, finally someone looks over and brings us in. I was like, oh my gosh. We got in there. All I remember is they were shoving tubes down my nose, into my throat, into my stomach. And that's all I remember, because then they took me to emergency surgery, and that's all I remember. But I do remember afterwards, because I had a few roommates that I did not like. Well, it's not that I didn't like them, I just don't like being in the same room as someone when they're like sick and like throwing up and whatever. I'm not a fan of that. But yeah, I was in there for a week after. I remember not being able to eat because they had an IV in me and I wasn't allowed to eat, and everyone that came to visit was like eating before, or like they didn't want to eat in front of me because I was so hungry, but I could not eat. But yeah, I remember the surgeon came in after a couple days later, and he was talking to me, making me like feel comfortable, whatever, and then he rips the tape off my face that was holding the tube, and he yanks the tube out of my out, and that was so traumatizing. I hated that he did that. I don't know why he did it. I mean, I know why he did it, so like I wouldn't think about it and it would just be done. But I hated every second of that, and I still remember that surgeon, and I don't have him anymore, but I was so mad. And then a couple days later, I find out that they have to put the tube back in. This tube, mind you, is pumping my stomach. The color of the stuff that is coming, this is so graphic, like I'm gonna show pictures and stuff, so if you guys are like very squeamish, I'll warn you when there's a picture coming up, but I don't have a picture of that. But it was like full on like green coming out of my stomach. It was so gross. Like, I remember that clearly, and everyone that came in was like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with you? Like, why is that coming out of you? But anyway, that was nasty. Finally got out of the hospital, I was fine, whatever. And when they did the surgery this time, they did it on the same scar as when I was a baby, so I wouldn't have like a million scars. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen that scar on Instagram. I don't really have like pictures of it, like when it was first like done or whatever. But for the second surgery, I do have pictures, and I have something to show you. That was that surgery. So then 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago now, I can't even remember, I could not breathe at cross country at all. Like, I was running and I just had to keep stopping, and it was so frustrating. And I have always had heart problems. When I was little, I had like 2 holes in my heart, but they filled in. My heart doesn't like drain or whatever the same way as everyone else's does. I don't exactly know how to explain it. Like, I just don't understand it. But so I went to the cardiologist because, like, yeah, like your chest is like pushing on your heart, like it's pushing it to the side. And all through my whole life, my regular doctor was like, oh, you will never have to get that fixed. Like, it's just cosmetic surgery if you don't like the way it looks. Mind you, my chest literally pushed in so far it almost touched my back. That's how bad it was. It's called pectus excavandum surgery is what I got. A long, big word. But yeah, he was like, yeah, you need to get that. Like, I would really get surgery for that. Like, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but like, I would really get surgery for that. Like, he was really pushing it. So we were like, okay. He was like, I know a surgeon that does that. Like, that's all he does, which is crazy because this isn't like, it's not rare, but it's not very common, and it's more common in boys. So yeah, I always thought it was kind of normal, and I was like, why does my chest go so far? And like, I didn't know. I thought it was just normal. But yeah, so I got this surgery. So what he did was he went in from both of my sides, cut me open there, put a scope in, and then put 2 bars all the way across, like 2. He had to put 2 in. That's how bad it was. They were only expecting to put 1, and then I woke up and he's like, yeah, I did 2 actually, because it was so bad. So he was like, yep, you just have to leave these in for 2 years, and then you come back and get them taken out. I can tell you, this surgery was probably the most painful thing I have ever felt in my life. The pressure that I felt on my chest after they were done, like, I had an epidural put in my back for the pain. Like, that's so weird. And then, so I stayed in the hospital for a week after that. I got this in the summer, mind you, so I wasted like my entire summer with this. That I couldn't do certain things for a little while, but then I was fine, whatever. Once in a while, I know this is kind of gross, and I'm gonna warn you now, I could feel it poking out on the side. I know that sounds so gross, but like, if I laid on my side, the bars would like literally poke out of my skin. Like, not like poke out, but like my skin would have like an indent, not an indent, like it would push out with the bar, like you could, it was so gross. Me and my friends had a joke that every time like I would do something and it would hurt, they'd be like, oh, my bar, like, ow. Like, it was really funny. So now it's just a constant joke. I don't have them in anymore, but it was funny. I have pictures from after that surgery. I will put them on the screen now, so if you're squeamish, skip, please skip, because this is pretty graphic. So I'm gonna put it up here. Yeah, this was after the surgery. It bruised so badly. I don't really know why. I literally called them and I was like, is this normal? And she said, like, take a picture of it. So I did, and she was like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. And I was like, okay, like, whatever. And then after the 2 years was up, I got them taken out, and he was like, do you want me to send them to you? And I was like, what? Like, the bars that were inside of me you're gonna send to my house? He's like, yeah, we like disinfect it, clean it, like really clean it, and it'll probably be in there in like a couple weeks, maybe a month. And I was like, honestly, why not? Like, I kind of want to see what was in there for 2 years. So he did, and I have them now. I cannot find them right now, but I'll put a clip in later when my mom finds them of what they look like. And it is so weird to think that those were inside of me for 2 years. Like, I just cannot get over that. Like, it's so weird to me. People are like, why did you want them? I'm like, why not? Like, I think that's so cool. It's not like they're tucked away somewhere, but like, I don't know, I think that's cool. Like, they were inside of you for that long. Might as well see what they were, like, what they were about. I mean, like, before the surgery, he told us, like, what, like, the metal was. I think it was aluminum, maybe. and it was just like a rod, but that's not actually what's in you, because obviously you can't have just a straight metal bar in you, because that would really poke out. Like, alrighty guys, so that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed hearing those stories. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That'll be at the end of the video and down below, and also turn on the bell so you get notified when I upload. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next week. Bye!